Hello students, we'll start with our next poem, that is by Thomas Gray, and we'll be discussing or we'll be going through what sort of poet Thomas Gray was and what you should expect from the poem, that is the elegy written in a country churchyard. So it's just a brief outline or a brief introduction of the poet Thomas Gray. To start with, we can say that Thomas Gray was the greatest poet between Milton and Wordsworth. Maybe you can even call him a pre-romantic poet. He is called the poetical classic of the 18th century. We can see that we learn that he is one who has offered some of the greatest poems or immortal poems of the literature of his nation, and he is still remembered for that. And Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard is the best example of it. Gray is a great and matchless elegiac poet in the annals of English poetry. He indulged himself or he involved himself in the luxury of the tears. Melancholy is the distinguishing feature of his poems. His poetry is full of sorrow, suffering, disease, and death. As a true mourner, Gray mourns the tragic fate of mankind. He always deals with the mortality and meaninglessness of human life. The poem concerned, or elegy written in a country churchyard, therefore is a sincere song of mourning. Gray here is par excellence and represents himself truly as a poet of death and mourning. Thomas Gray is, we can say, is like a transitional poet. He shows his merit between the neoclassical and the romantic age. So he is in between the neoclassical and the romantic age. Therefore, his position as a classical poet and as a precursor of romanticism is established. It is said that he began his career as a classicist but ended as a romantic poet. As a precursor of English romantic movement, Gray has no sympathy for the conventional verse. He tries to break through the bounds of the conventional verse. He tried to break through the prevailing patterns of poetry and made a new way or a new genre for himself. He tries to bring forward a new form of poetry, breaking the bonds of the conventions and the customs prevalent at that time. He sought and found inspiration in the literature of the past, and he had the love for nature, and that is a quality of romantics. So we can see that before the romantic age, as a pre-romantic poet, he is a precursor of the qualities of the romantic period, which celebrate nature. He had great sympathy for the weak and the poor, and the poem Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard is a tribute to such people. These are all very prominent characteristics of the romantic poetry. As a great poet, Gray showed his metrical excellence, but he never sacrificed sense to the sound, the rhyme. He was in the habit of using antithesis, personification, epigrams, circumlocutions, allegories, and compound words. Means all these are literary terms you will come through when you go through the poem. His poetry is lyrical in form and refined in style. There is a musical virtuosity in his poetry which we don't find in the poets of his age. He avoided the predominant couplet and preferred the stanza form of writing the poem. Therefore, Gray can be called a great and a matchless immortal poet who has written poetry with a great degree of ease and comfort. Means his poetry is simple and seems to be coming out spontaneously. He will be remembered forever for his simplicity, his tenderness, human touch, and the universal feelings of humanity. In his poems, he has attained the sublimity of Milton and the harmony of Pope. Therefore, we can say that he holds a very singular or very dominant position in the history of English poetry. When we go through, or when we will be going through the poem, that is the Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard, we will see how he has wholeheartedly or in very plain and simple language given us a picturesque image of the life of simple villagers and how he celebrates their lives, their simple pleasures, their simple earnings. He has given us a great poem of the people who are left behind by the society, who could have come forward, but because of their simple living, they remained obscure. So, we'll continue with our poem. First, I'll give a brief introduction of the poem in my next lecture, and then we'll start with the poem. Thank you.